is that? That's the chief.
We here, pioneers. April 25th, April 26th, that astrological transition of Uranus out of Taurus and back into Gemini is something we've been speaking about since June, July of last year, when we spoke about and released our Uranus stationing into retrograde thesis, an analysis on the market that showed every microstructure high and every bear market low. So every bull market high and every bear market low coming in this Uranus and retrograde thesis. And then this year we transitioned through that and hit 126K together, tied to, of course, you know, that 126 code of Nakamoto Bitcoin dump that we saw after hitting 126K, the Cosmos code, Bitcoin price discovery, and, well, the mathematics of a circle. All that 126 code. During this time period of Uranus retrograde, and then we prepared you for that transition back direct into Taurus on 2324 this year, and we specifically warned about that 2-6 date of the 2-6 year, and here we are heading into the 26th tomorrow, the birthday of the Master Chief, aka Coach Abe, John Michael Shook. And thank you. And so it's beautiful, you know, to get here to see that thesis play out this year, one we've talked about for almost a year now, come June, July of this year. And what to be here on this specific date of April 25th, 26th, that transition of Uranus, the god of all things crypto and all things technological, as we watch it transition out of the season of the bull, one we won't see again in our lifetimes, maybe our kids will, and back into Gemini. So, you know, last year this wasn't popular. Last year I couldn't find another person speaking about this. And now you can go all over X and watch people's latest Red Pill podcast. And here it is, my thesis, my work, uttered out of these mouths. You know, something we've been talking about. And so once again, these works becoming popular. Last year wasn't even talked about, wasn't even thought about. For 14 fucking years, no one's ever made these connections. And like I said last year, it will become popular, and I won't get the flowers for it. You see, I already saw history. I already saw the future last year, which is why I've spoken since this premiere of Uranus in retrograde, this thesis that I shared with the world, again, never shared before. Yeah. I spoke about not receiving my flowers for the last year because I saw this happening. You know what I'm saying? And you guys were here to witness it, to watch it all come into fruition, and not a soul has done what I have done when it comes to price action, and I'm not fucking bragging. Y'all know that. Y'all know I'm just taking pride in the work that I've done here. You know what I'm saying? That I every day I'm working. Yeah, 2 jobs, taking care of my son, but I'm working on my vision. I'm working on my craft. I'm working on my skill. I'm working on the next thing I'm gonna present to you guys. Always, you know. And so we're gonna keep doing that and keep honing in on what we're seeing, which is right now, today, a day we spoke about, heading into tomorrow, the last day that Satoshi ever spoke to the cryptoverse, April 26, 2011. This being a 15-year anniversary of that come tomorrow, my birthday. We've been watching the code, and well, of course, Donald Trump's out here in a crypto conference at Mar-a-Lago in Florida today, of all days, right? Uranus transitioning back into Gemini. He's a Gemini-born president, and well, the first ever crypto president. The one that was again out here tonight saying we want to become the supreme leaders in crypto and AI. So again, just reiterating what he's already told us from his 60 Minutes interview back in November, right? What he's been telling us running on this second term, being a crypto favored individual. So very unique, man. Just paying attention. Tomorrow, like I said, being tied to last day Satoshi ever spoke to the cryptoverse, and then the Bitcoin conference coming up on Monday. Okay, so what is Monday? Well, Monday is specifically important for the Bitcoin conference because, well, this year it's the 117th day of the year, and that's tied to that Bitcoin code that we've been speaking about, right? The Master Chief Code 117. Bitcoin and numerology, we know, giving us that same 117 code. Let everything load back up from restarting my computer earlier. Anyways, let us pray. Okay. I mean, y'all know y'all get it, dude. Y'all have all been here. So I think there's only one new person here tonight. I'm pretty sure they remember our work from the Waters Above community before we got banned, though. But the Bitcoin code giving us 117. Okay, I'm not gonna drag that fucking out. But the Bitcoin conference being on Monday, the 117th day of the year, that Master Chief code, we're watching the Monday market open, that people are already out here preparing you for a downside. Oh, it's gonna be tragic chaos on Monday. Any fucking way. They've been saying that for 6 fucking months since October. And we're the only ones out here in advance calling for 60K lows and then a rise after that. So here we are. Let's break this down. We see on Earth Day the other day that Trump comes out here talking about he believes he's done all he can militarily and wants to exit the war with Iran. Exit stage left. Okay? Alright, so that's one of the puzzle pieces we've been waiting on. Because again, we were out here on 2/12. You know, we were talking about this, an important day following Super Bowl 60, our Super Bowl 60 decode, our book that we've been working on the last few years. Seeing this as a very important time period, 322 days left in the year, the 43rd day of the year after a 43-day government historic shutdown, right? Anyways, well, at 10:19 p.m. that day, they told us that the USS Gerald Ford was heading to Iran, right? So here we are. That was our first initial start to this war on the 12th of February. And then 17 days later, on the 59th day of the year, which is the 17th prime, 306 days left in the year, that 36 code, 666 code, right? As I turn 36 years old this year, tomorrow. Donald Trump was out here in an 8-minute and 6-second video talking about entering war, the 86 code with Israel, entering war with Iran. Okay? So, from the start to the peak and escalation and climax to the end game on Earth Day, on April Showers Day, right? So very important from the start to the finish potentially. Okay, so we're just keeping an eye on this. But wasn't surprising to see this on Earth Day 2026, giving us that 47 code tied to president number 47 that was talking about this. Because again, this was as we entered 2 months and 11 days from the start of this war, which is the 47th prime, right? We get this news. Okay, so let's tie this back to the lows that we saw on 2/6. In the 2/6 years, we watched Uranus enter Taurus direct. Okay, and we hit that 59K, right? We got this news on the 59th day of the year, right after hitting 59K. Okay, that was 76 days from our lows on 2526 to April 27th, and we were breaking April 22nd. Sorry, I said 7th. We were breaking that 76K on this day. Okay, 76 days after our lows, breaking back above 76K, and it was 7 weeks and 6 days after Donald Trump gave his speech, which is a span of 1 month and 26 days, which is tied to our 126K highs we hit back on October. Octo being the 8th and the 6th day of that month, 8/6, the 86 code, right? So very unique. 6 days after we hit our lows, we enter war with Iran, right? So if we were to take this from Super Bowl 60, right after hitting 60K psychologically, right, and then holding 66,600 per my thesis, okay, as I turn 36, we're now breaking back above 76K and holding it. All right, 76 days today after Super Bowl 60. And this is, again, all under President Donald Trump, who won the 60th presidential elections, becoming the 47th president. Okay? And today was the original day of the Clarity Act. And he's out here having a crypto and Bitcoin conference at Mar-a-Lago, talking about, again, reiterating becoming the crypto supremacy of the world here in America. Okay, so very unique, very powerful what we're seeing. Again, because it's fucking World Penguin Day, and this man out here walking on his X account with a penguin. The White House sharing it, remember? Who remembers that? Back on 1, 2, 3, go. Back in January. And we were just a day and 23 hours away from the Bitcoin conference when I was creating this decode for you at the beginning of today on World Penguin Day. As we see these peace talks fall apart, as he decides to not go with Jared Kushner. Damn, he's tied to Ripple, ain't he? And others to Pakistan to talk about more ceasefire talks and peace talks with Iran today. So, not surprising, because Penguin Day gives us 39, the mirror of 93, like peace talks, right? And it's been 93 days from January 23rd to today, April 25th. So again, I think they've been telling us something, that watch the code, watch the penguin, because he's not the only one that has been out here sharing this penguin code with us for a few years. A lot of these other ones do, you know, a lot of these people share these things. For instance, David Schwartz, who was out here talking about it years ago, saying he's obsessed with penguins, right? Stuffed penguins, right? All kinds of penguins. But anyways, I just thought I'd share that I think today is very unique. April 25th, the transition into Uranus, into Taurus. But, you know, I always try to bring the deeper meaning to why we're seeing this in advance, right? Earth out here sharing on their X account, you know what I'm saying? World Penguin Day, making sure we know that. I mean, they're very relentless creatures, you know, if you think about it. But I'll behave. I'm pretty relentless myself, you know, so just one of the decodes that I've been talking about. Speaking of that 39 code, World Penguin Day, David Swartz out here telling us he's obsessed with penguins. Well, today's 39 days from Ripple's birthday. If we were to pay attention to that, from today, April 25th to June 2nd, it's 39 days. 153rd day of the year. Tied to that Ripple XRP code 153, right? XRP cryptocurrency. One of them gives us 153. I know for a fact. Or it might just be that its birthday's the 153rd day of the year. That's why I always tie that 153 code to it. I think that's what it is. Yeah, because I totally spelled that wrong too. Yeah, so it's tied to that 153 and that $1.53 that we were talking about last year in the Ripple price chart. So you see it right here. Basically our resistance right now at 153. So by June 2nd, 39 days from now, could we be breaking that $1.53 resistance that we see as we head into the 153rd day of the year? Something I'm paying attention to. But just waiting to see if we don't keep climbing into this 86K. Right? Penguin. World Penguin Day. Why is that important? As we aim for that 86K. Penguin giving us that same 86, that 103 code tied to Mercury, tied to the god of financial gain, right? Okay, commerce, trade. So watching these trades right here. Check the chat real quick. Okay, there's Roy Moore, finally made it in here. The penguin is symbolic to the elite. I can't remember what it means. Let me check. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, there's a reason why they've always shown it to us in, say, Batman. You know, Batman versus Penguin, right? You know, Penguin has always worn that suit, that tie. He's always had that top hat on, right? Like, there's been some dark symbolism there. He's considered, I guess, a thug or a gangster, right? But your real thugs and gangsters are politicians and fucking bankers. You know? Motherfuckers in suit and ties on Wall Street. You know, it ain't this motherfucker on the streets that they teach you about in movies and shit like that. They've been indoctrinated to believe that's what a thug is. Okay? You know, I was raised in the streets. I know this shit. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say I wear suit and ties now, man. And the security approached me, he was wearing all black. I passed him my CD with my house number on it saying, if you listen to it, could you please call back, please? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They're very resilient creatures, you know. I think that's the message to take out of tonight's class is be resilient to this. You know, we're exiting an 8-year astrological shift back into Gemini. Okay, so, you know, again, something that wasn't popular last year, you know, but it's popular now, right, by these so-called financial astrologers and market analysts and whatever the fuck. But ain't nobody telling you about, they might be warning you, trying to warn you about April 25th and 27th come Monday, and nobody's talking about the last day Satoshi ever spoke to the crypto space. My birthday tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, tied to Bitcoin and Satoshi. They've never brought this up. You know what I'm saying? And well, it's not just that it's a Sunday tomorrow, but we got the sun at 36 degrees of the full 360 degrees of the full zodiac tomorrow. 6 degrees Taurus, right? Part of that 666 code we've been talking about. So, you know, astrologically, this is gonna start to heat up. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta think about, again, what this has done in the past, right? How we've seen this become important in, well, shifts in technology and not just finance, but life in general, the world. Again, ending a 8-year cycle. A historic moment in the sky, right? One that hasn't happened in 84 years. Like all the things we've talked about for the last year, but sorry, I was reading this text message. Me and my son have been trying to get a hold of my son's sister today, man. It's her birthday. So again, very important day in my life, you know what I'm saying? And I was just reading a message. I thought it was from her, but back in 1774 through 1782, as we were starting America of 1776, right? And you know, big part of my thesis last year was heading into July of this year. You know, part of my cherry blossom season that you see on the screen has always been, you know, that's what my thesis has been called. Market analysis and timeless cyclical, you know, breakdown, 12 months worth of knowledge. But, you know, we've added a lot to this, and part of it was that June-July time period of Memorial Day, Trump's birthday, Flag Day, and the 4th of July Independence Day rally is what I call it. And, well, this year we're entering a presidential capstone for America, the 250th birthday. Again, the newest country on the fucking planet, man. But yet they claim to be the leaders of the world. Like, we get everything from somewhere else. Our language, our religion, every fucking thing. You know, we get it, we plagiarize it from somewhere else. We're the newest country, man. Still celebrating Big 250 this year. And well, we saw this Uranus and Gemini transition back in the creation of the Revolutionary War era and the American Revolution of 1774 through 1782. Which, again, like I stated last year, and throughout this past year documenting this before it became famous and popular, that was the printing press and the pamphlets, you know what I'm saying? The spread of revolutionary ideas and written word. You know? Where we saw radical ideas spread faster than governments can control them. And then we fast forward in time to the 1800s and the mid 1800s, from 1858 to 1866. And that 8-year transition of the American Civil War, from the Revolutionary War and the American Revolution to the Civil War, and back when Uranus transitioned into Gemini again. When we saw the telegraph and newspapers come out. Communication change again. Information across continents. Railroads be born. Because information travels faster, which also fuels conflict and unity. Okay? And then that's when we started to see global connectivity begin. And so we fast forward again. From the American Revolutionary and Revolutionary War to the Civil War to World War II. Of the 1940s, 1941 to 1949. Where we saw the radio and propaganda and early television and mass media shape public opinion, because communication changed again during this Uranus and Gemini transition. Where we saw information become a weapon, and where we saw reality be manipulated. And now fast forward again, from World War II, from the American Civil War, from the Revolutionary American Revolution, to 2026 to 2033, where we see Uranus enter Gemini again under a Gemini-born president, the leader of the free world. And we are watching geopolitical tension. And he's out here praising a crypto and AI revolution. The fourth industrial revolution, by the way. Again, the fourth industrial revolution, the fourth transition in the last several hundred years of Uranus into Gemini. Get it? The god of tech. Where we're seeing informational chaos and communication abroad go haywire. But while at the same time watching human evolution, where it's either wake up or be controlled. We just started a new timeline back in February on the 20th when Saturn and Neptune conjuncted in Aries, had a conjunction in Aries at the very beginning of the zodiac wheel, and here we are watching the start of the fourth industrial revolution tonight together on the birthday bash after dark special as we head into tomorrow, the 26th of April. A very important day tied to crypto and the crypto space hidden esoterically from you, because every fourth year it's the 117th day of the year. So every leap year it's the last day that Satoshi Nakamoto spoke to the crypto space. And 2011 was as we were heading into a leap year. Remember that. So this astrological shift that has become popular will not be spoken to you about, will not be taught to you like we will teach it here, like we have been teaching it here. And again, which is why I think we saw things like Donald Trump hold his crypto conference in Mar-a-Lago tonight, kicking off this new, this new fourth industrial revolution that we've been mapping out unmatched for the last 6 years. So is this the start to continue to blossom out of these $66,600 lows after hitting a 60K like we have been teaching about on World Monarch Day, going through the metamorphosis and now flying away? Only time will tell, pioneers, but I'm saying 1, 2, 3, go. I'm saying 3, 2, 1, run. If chaos starts to hit us, I know why. And it's this chaotic shift of Uranus transitioning back into Gemini under a Gemini-born president. It's that twin tower energy, astrologically. But I'm still holding strong to my thesis. I'm still holding strong to my belief of being the only one to see the deeper vision, the higher ceiling in the future of the cryptocurrency market. Again, holding that 66,600. As I turn 36 tomorrow, the 36's code has been something I've given you since the end of last year, November. Coming out of October, when the whole world was losing their mind, when we were seeing months and months and months and months of fear, and extreme fear, single, low double digits on a crypto fear and greed index, and we weren't doing nothing but buying the dip. the blood in the streets, and being greedy when others were fearful. So does this transition back into Uranus stationed into Gemini, under a Gemini-born president, under a crypto-favorable president, do we see this carry us into new all-time highs like we're seeing with the stock market? If we were to take a look at things like the Dow Jones trying to reach into a new all-time high, that fifth wave, before we see it then cascade. But, you know, we're roughly 1.37%, the 33rd prime number, away from seeing it follow the S&P 500, reaching into that potential $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 range. We'll see how high it grabs liquidity, but like exit liquidity is coming to these markets soon, and gold's been doing the same potential thing, mapping out this fifth wave into potentially $6,000, $7,000 as well to follow the S&P 500. As we see silver getting ready to do the same thing, and all these charts that we've been talking about recently, you know, sharing with you the fifth wave God, right? Anyway, but Bitcoin being one of those in the fifth wave that we've been mapping out since 2021, and $3,000 Bitcoin. From 3 to 69, from 69 to 15, from 15 to here we are at 126 and back to 60K. Wop, bop, bop, bang. Does that 174, 192, $211,000 Bitcoin come in soon? Only time will tell, but I still think that we are on our way to see this rally. And for me, my birthday today, my stepdaughter's birthday, my son's sister, this Uranus transitioning back into Gemini, as we watch the leader of the free world, a Gemini-born president, and the first ever crypto president, continue to take us potentially to new all-time highs in a horse year, and the first one we haven't seen in 60 years. As we end an 8-year cycle, but more importantly, as we end an 84-year cycle. We just entered Taurus on the zodiac wheel, pioneers, and I am everything but bearish. Okay? As we head into Mayday, 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 and the 250th birthday of the Illuminati, I know what comes after that in a horse year on May 2nd this year. And some of you may know that. Roy Moores of the world. But on May 1st, May 2nd this year, Mayday, 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 we see the horses gallop. And them thoroughbreds take off. So we're only days away from selling May and walk away, and where we see the real horse year start. As we head into June and that D-Day. Thesis of mine. So I'm getting ready to gallop. Born in the horse year of 1990. A Taurus, a bull. I'm running rampant this year. And can't nobody stop me. And I hope, my pioneers, I hope you listening got that same mindset when you're watching these markets. When you're watching these fake ass analysts tell you what to do and give you these ranges and their 3 scenarios of what could happen next. Blah, blah, blah. Remember, we've been the only ones mapping it out in advance for 6 years straight flawlessly. You might not like how I riddle you my work, but I don't care. You know, I mean, it is how I do it. Y'all know that. But if you paid attention, Roy Morris, those that have been here, Oz, the Electric Guy, War Machine, shout out to anybody I didn't mention. You've seen how we've done this. You gotta admit, it's pretty artistic. It's pretty genius. You know? And now to watch my work talked about at other mouths, and they don't do nothing they're not doing anything with that work to give you any secrets. Man, we heading into the Kentucky Derby in a horse year. Heading into Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Sell in May, walk away. After cherry blossom season and the death and resurrection of the charts, and not just the charts, but Jesus Christ too. And the start of the bloom. Give me 86K coming soon. On Monday, when everybody's freaking out, already on Twitter talking about Monday's going to be a chaotic open. Prepare for downside. I'm saying let us see 83K. Close that upside CME gap. Give me 86K. Coming out of World Penguin Day. And who does that? Happy birthday, coach. Let's go. Dude, where's my crypto made it? That's what's up. He said, who discovered penguins? Oh, Fauci with his penguin mask. Yeah, I kind of remember that now. Full moon on May Day. Yeah, it's the full flower moon. The May flower moon. May's about the May Queen, right? Mother's Day, the May Queen. A lot of cultures celebrate a woman, a May Queen, they call it. And Mother's Day is found in May, so you know, my May Queen is always my mother, right? So, but yeah, Mayday, Mayday, it's all about the M's. Watch for potential double tops in the markets and during May, right? Yeah, things like that. So, let's see what y'all are typing. Yeah, man, you know I love them falling wedges. It's not that I love them. Bitcoin loves them. I mean, we've mapped them out for years. 68% mathematical chance of a breakout to the upside. Who's going to ride against mathematics? Like, come on. Like, it's just trading, man. People tell you patterns don't matter. Fuck out of here. It's fucking mathematics, man. This shit's ran on algorithms. How are you going to go against the mathematics? Listen to these people tell you pattern drawing don't matter and shit like that. Shit never ceases to amaze me, man. Yeah, Roy, hopefully he goes down quietly and yeah. Praying to God my shitcoins from the days of waters above go up in May so I can sell and walk away. Jasmine, audio. Yeah, hopefully, you know, we can only hope. We'll see what happens. Haven't looked at any of those charts myself in many years. I don't think. A couple years probably. I haven't heard Jasmine in probably a year or so. But yeah, we all probably used to hold some of those bags, you know. I just hope my work is showing y'all that, man, I am no different than you, man. I'm no better than you, man. Like, all these so-called people charge so much for their work, and, like, here I am still 6 years in trying to figure out how to put a price on my work. Nobody's done what I've done. You know what I'm saying? How you charge for that? You know, I don't even feel right. I'm trying to create a Patreon again this year, and after my website got shut down last year, and you know what I'm saying? Got people reaching out to me because apparently the website's still charging people, but you can't access my website. Go to dailycandleclosnewsrightnow.com. You tell me what it says. You know what I'm saying? Since I dropped my Super Bowl 60 decode, showing you Jessica Alba was going to be at the Super Bowl before we even knew she was going to be at the Super Bowl. How'd I do it? My website ain't been up and running since. Got people asking me, like, how do I cancel my membership? Like, for one, like, it's less than $1 a day to learn how to trade with Coach A. Why would you want to cancel your membership? We've been flawlessly trading for 6 years in this market. Like, have you not been to class? Do you not feel you've gotten your value out of this, for one? And for two, like, I've got a banned website, which is just a sign for me. You know, I tried to start a Patreon. I don't even know how to want to charge for my work, because it's like, who's doing this? You know, but I watch these analysts come out here and make livings off of y'all, and y'all pay their bills and shit, and they continuously wreck you. Comments like that right there. You know what I'm saying? That breaks my heart, man. And these same analysts did podcasts with me and have since then stolen my work that I shared in that same video with them verbatim. They can't act like they didn't see my comments on their lives no more, like I wrote with invisible ink, or when I would at them in their community and say at waters above and ask them a question. He can't ignore my decodes now. You know, we were in that podcast together, and then he stole my work and plagiarized it. You know what I'm saying? And continued to wreck people. So, you know, like, that shit breaks my heart. Like, I just hope my work is showing you that we the same, man. You and I. Me and every one of you. If I can do it, you could do it too. Single father. Trailer park kid. White trash. Convicted felon. Single dad. Whatever they call me out here doing it. Still working 2 jobs. And I know I say this, but again, I've made history in this fucking asset class of financial astrology, of the markets, whether it's from gold to the markets, to crypto. Like, who was out here preparing you for the 43-day longest government shutdown last year? Had nothing to do with the markets, right? That's economics. But it wasn't a broker, it wasn't a banker, it wasn't a politician or an economist. You know what I'm saying? It was Coach Abe. You know? And so, like, I just hope that at the end of the day, you stop following these folks. You don't even treat me like, put me on no fucking pedestal, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask Oz, man. He come and lived, like I said, man, the man came to my house. I let him sleep in my master bedroom. I haven't even slept in that fucking bed the whole year I moved into this brand new house. $500,000 home. My mom slept in that bed and Oz has slept in that bed. I slept on the fucking floor. Still in that transition into, you know, that wilderness retreat that our ancestors went on. Yeah, I got a $500,000 home, but my son got 3 beds to sleep in. I've slept on a couch and the fucking floor for a year. I just started sleeping in the bed in the loft upstairs. You know what I'm saying? On March 17th, my 1-year anniversary of being in this brand new home. First ever home. Was able to buy off of crypto. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man's living my life, man. I'm just like y'all. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I want my work to ever show, is that no matter how many times you've been told you can't do it, no matter how many times these people like waters above belittle you and talk shit about you, you know what I'm saying? And you just take that energy and you transmute it to flowers, the flowers that you were never given by them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all I've ever done. You ain't got to give me my flowers, homeboy. I've made mine off of your energy. You've banned me. Boom. That was a whole goddamn bouquet of roses. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Yeah. It's a dog eat dog world, electric guy. That's facts, man. Yeah. But see, man, there's a difference between some people's rich and my rich. You know what I'm saying? Rich is realizing I create happiness, man. True wealth is health. You know. So I'm out here creating happiness with my work. Like I said, man, I've written history and fulfilled dreams with my work, and others have became memes with theirs. And that's all I'm gonna say. And them comments, we just read them Indigo said it enough. Gnosis. But I'm losing me every time. See, I'm just hoping to see this 2-hour gap to the upside. I really think we can go as high as 106 to 111K. You know, so what we'd do is we'd move this fib to this most recent 76K high and then pull it down to this low, this last low we saw on the 26th of March, well, 29th, sorry. That give us a new 4618 back at 126K. I said 4618, but 4.236 is what I meant to say. The new 1618 would put us at 83.9, and that'd be pretty much closing our CME gap, the 84K. So tomorrow evening, that's what we're gonna be watching. See if we can't reach up to that 1618. Finish this impulse. Man, again, man, I draw squigglies on a chart, and what did it do? It followed the squiggly. I'll behave. SOS though, sign of strength, last point of supply. That's just what we've been going through. You see it probably better on the 8-hour, something like that, you know. So you get your last test, sign of strength, boom, last point of supply, and you just keep doing it. SOS, LPS, SOS, LPS, SOS, LPS, and you just keep doing it. We'll eventually get back up here until we break back above 93, 96K, break back above this second automatic rally in phase B, and that's when we'll, you know, see that 106, 107K. We'll set a new all-time, well, a new local high, not a new all-time high yet, but we'll show signs of continuation. Okay, we'll break these lower high structures that we've been setting since October. Okay, lower high, lower high, lower high as of now. So we got to get up here and break that 93 to 96K territory. Hold this level right here, 91.1 as support. Okay, December. Remember, we were talking about losing that 91.1 range. Okay, all the way December, January. That was all of our, for a month long in December, I warned you about the big bully. Y'all know that. Okay, we rallied past it at the beginning of the year. New year, new cycle rally. Okay, and then we capped out at that 96K, 97K. From 79 to 97. As above, so below. We fell into our spring. Okay, so now we've got to get back here and hold this 91.1, the big bully, 96K, 97K. We've got to hold this as support. Okay, break it, show signs of continuation, back test it, treat it as support. Okay, same thing we did with 69K now. 6-year high. 6 years later, here we are testing 60, 69K. Now let's do the same thing with this recent high. Let's go. What's the purpose? Why I'm hurt me? Feeling like I'm drowning in all these burdens. Tell me what if the pace stays such. Yeah, I mean, the everything bubble is eventually gonna pop. Like I really do think that this is nothing more than what this chart has showed, what we talked about. There's your bearish crab, right? That you were talking about. You know, Roy Moore, but you know, these two dotted lines that are faint that you can hardly see, it's that pattern that I told you would become popular, that this fifth wave would become popular. You know, I told you everybody would bring it up. They're going to start talking about this Jesse Livermore pattern, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been mapping this out since 2021. Since last year, we were talking about this structure into a bearish fourth wave. Since this fourth wave has started coming in, we've mapped out the 123 days it took to the bottom, right? The 47 days after the high that we saw the market fall for 47 straight days into the 47th week under president number 47, who just had a 60-minute interview, right, telling us about the 60K lows. But anyways, we've mapped all this out, right? And so, like I said, it's going to become popular. Just like I said, this Uranus in retrograde last year, this Uranus back into Gemini, I told you this shit was going to become popular, right? And that I wouldn't get the flowers. So anyways, this Jesse Livermore pattern is going to become popular, and that's the exit liquidity that I was talking about. We're seeing the Dow Jones, the S&P 500 just reached into new all-time highs in a fifth wave. And if Bitcoin and the Dow Jones and gold and silver and everything were to follow too, then eventually we're gonna, watch these markets come back down. Come back down to where? I don't know. First, we got to see how high they go. You know what I'm saying? Like, we won't get ahead of ourselves, but we've been mapping this out, right? And so I can see that bubble popping, right? I just don't think we're quite there. Are we close? Absolutely. And and especially in the crypto markets, if we were to continue to see this, I think this is going to happen over a span of 30 to 90 days. You know what I'm saying? That's not a long time, right? So we could trickle up for the next few months, get some pullbacks here and there, and then, see that blow off top. Or we'll have to see how long they drag this out. But typically, it's pretty fast. If you look back in 2017, 2021, 2013, these periods of euphoria don't last very long, is what I'm trying to say. So I can see that bubble popping. I can see it popping relatively soon in the near distant future, but we still need to get through that transition into America's birthday, through Trump's birthday this year. Let me see what that Lionsgate portal of August, early first week of August, brings us. That is typically that bullish time period leading into that August 8th time period, that 8/8 this year, things like that. And I know people are gonna throw out, but that's the eclipse, our next one of those. And anyway, y'all know I'm gonna counter that with correction. That's coming out of, typically a extreme low or extreme high time period of our June and July Independence Day rally thesis. But more importantly, that's, heading into that autumn equinox, the following month of September. A proven 14, 15, 16 year historical data point in the Bitcoin price action chart. And one that we've, been the only one to map out here. That Harry Potter's 9 3/4 entrance to Hogwarts, right? Again, this is symbolically been given to you throughout the Matrix. That 9 3/4 of the year, that autumn equinox. You know what I'm saying? So I need to see what that's gonna bring us this year. To be honest, to see about that, bubble popping. But I totally agree with kind of what you're saying there. Quite the evening in DC. Secret Service and law enforcement did a forensics job. Did a fantastic job. They acted quickly and bravely. The shooter has been apprehended, and I have recommended that we let the show go on, but will entirely be guided by law enforcement. They will make a decision shortly. Regardless of that decision, that evening will be much different. The evening will be much different than planned, and we'll just plain do it again. So what the fuck just happened? Are y'all telling me that as we had this historic celebration, this Uranus shift into Gemini, which is showing again, we just broke this down. It's been the start of a revolutionary war type of, environment, dating all the way back to the beginning of America in 1774. Are you telling me we just had an active shooter at this event that Trump's been at in DC tonight? You cannot make this shit up. No, it ain't too long to post here. Man, all y'all that know that I've been working on my book since 2023 have shown that Uranus and Gemini that has marked the start of war. Not just in a serpent year when America gets involved in a war, like others will tell you, it's in a serpent year when we see Uranus enter Gemini. And that's when we bombed Iran on the summer solstice last year. It was right after that transition. And then we go retrograde, transition back direct into Taurus on February 3rd, 4th, all the way till today when we transition for Uranus back into Gemini and we see this shit. I hope you see how important that is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Won't let you unless you upgrade. That's fine. I'm stuck in my head, can't break free. Dark room thoughts, they chase me. Don't tell me it's
It'll be funny, it'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to Caroline LeVay calls everyone to watch tonight because Donald Trump will bring the heat and there will be shots fired. And we literally see that apparently there have been shots fired tonight. So I'm going to drop that. The electric guy has shortened the video, you guys. Behind him, you see celebrating the First Amendment White House Correspondents' dinner tonight. Now, again, this is pretty symbolic because you guys, this man has boycotted this since 2011. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. I had that written down on my notes. Let me look. I don't think he's been to one of these since 2011. Yeah. Where Obama took shots at him. You know, in 2011, right at the end of Obama's presidency. And again, we was talking about 2011 as we head into tomorrow because that's the last day Satoshi ever spoke to the cryptoverse in 2011. So he's at the correspondence dinner for the first time since 2011 tonight, ending the longest boycott in history, basically. So I think this is very symbolic what we're watching, and then to watch this. I didn't see this video until I got on X a second ago, but she says shots will be fired. We see shots fired tonight at the dinner. Donald Trump rushed off stage by Secret Service. So that's the same video that Truth Seeker, or not Truth Seeker, but the electric guy just shared. Yeah, I know. But yeah, this is very symbolic to Uranus transitioning back into Gemini. This is the energy you expect to see. And again, we've been
some of the only ones mapping this out, you know, watching Donald Trump, who's 79 years old, as we get ready to potentially see another 79K Bitcoin as we enter Monday, 79 days from the lows. So if we go to 2.6, where our 60K lows came in this year, and we go to tomorrow, I'm sorry, I said Monday, but tomorrow, 79 days, my birthday. Why is that important? You know, I get that 79 code in my name, you know. Dang, yeah, there it is, 79, the golden element, Trump's 79. But tomorrow's 79 days from the lows to my birthday. Is that telling me a sign that, again, I was able to call the lows, something they tell you can't do, but I called the highs and the lows for the last 6 years, from 3K to 69K, from 69K back to 15K, from 50K all the way to 126K, every low in between there, 47, 74 highs. You know, we've done this for 6 years. Is that telling me that this year on my 2-6 day that I gave y'all in advance, the 2-6 code, the 17 code, hit 59K, the 17th prime as we headed into 2-6? You see what I'm saying? 79 days ago on my birthday, come tomorrow. So that's what I'm watching, man. But this 79 code also tied to Trump being 79 years old, and we've been showing the next possible presidential assassination with all of our D codes since Super Bowl 60. And now we're seeing this event tonight. How many times are they gonna try? You know, rappers out here coming out here talking about kill the king. We having no kings protest and stuff. You know, White House out here telling us in a heart, look again, this looks like a heart sign, you know, heart rhythm in the background. He's blacked out. They telling us to tap in, you know. I'm just saying. But since Super Bowl 60, the latest era of season 2 of Paradise came on 2/23 this year, a TV show showing presidential assassination. You know, I'm just saying, I think we continue to see this energy right here. What we're seeing tonight. So very unique. I'm lost in a place where love can't reach. I scream in my sleep, but nobody hears. Tears on my heart. He's gonna hold a press conference in 30 minutes. Let's see what he says. You're fired. Someone's getting fired. All this fame never healed the hole. Got dumbness, but I feel so cold. Tell my fans that I'm good, I lie. Cause who wants a hero that just wanna die? I've been drowning in my thoughts, no lifeguard trying to play like smart. Unless they put him in a harness, which they may do, I can see him walking back in that room. I'm stuck in my head, can't break free. Dark room thoughts, they chase me. Yeah, man, we're gonna have to keep watching this tonight. See what happens. Here's another video.
Katie, do you have all your stuff?
I'm fine.
Knocking over tables and shit. Nonsense. I'm not surprised at this at all. I'm really not. If I don't wake up, just know I try. Every damn day I fall down. Yeah. Not surprised. And again, man, once he had his air shot, these markets took off. So just remember that. Back on July 13th, 2024. Once that happened, I mean, these markets surged same day, you know. So we'll see what happens, but definitely keeping an eye on that and looking to break that 77,700. That's going to be a push for the upside right here. If we start breaking that 777. Demons in my mind whispering in my ear, trying to numb the pain, but the pill's too clear, saying clowns in panic. I love that. I love that right there. Y'all silly, man. Y'all silly. Y'all silly for doing it. Y'all silly for sharing it. The shooter is Iranian. Don't tell me that, bro. Don't tell, because I already saw how this was going, man. I just said not too long ago, we'll see if they keep those peace talks, you know, that ceasefire. We'll see. I don't, what did I say, man? We'll see if somebody doesn't do something to, I don't know, man. I don't know how I worded that, but it's in class. You know, it's in a recording. But yeah, I can believe that the shooter is Iranian. I've been talking about, you know, the activation of Iranian sleeper cells in some of these decodes and stuff. So, you know, I don't know, but we've seen the signs, man. Like I said, we've been mapping this out for 3 months now. This 666 code tied to Donald Trump and, well, potential next presidential assassination. You know, again, breaking this day today down, tied to all of this, tied to this war event with Iran. So, you know, we'll see, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they say. So of course they do it over a weekend where there's no institutional activity. Retail is the only one controlling the market right now. So I can see a big red candle caused by panic and fear, only to get balled up come Monday. You know, CME open tomorrow night, things like that, into that 83, 86K murder zone. Are they trying to tell us we're going to 86K murder by showing us this event? I'm just saying. Think about it now. I'm not scared. I'm anything but bearish here. Now again, I mentioned this is either the greatest bull trap we're witnessing right here at this transition astrologically entering Taurus in the zodiac season of the bull, or the bulls are back in town. So I'm prepared for this energy. Are you? Can't focus, can't sleep, can't chill. Let the show go on. When I'm safe, it feels like a kill. Like something's wrong, but it's not. Still I'm trapped in a fear that I never bought. Tight chest, nice. Thoughts running like a jet. No reason, still I shake. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed class tonight. That was unexpected. This ain't fake, it's just hard to heal. Got a storm and I can't protect from the fear that I can't detect. Lately I've been ghosting my friends, cause I'm tired of explaining this again. I don't know where my Andy Warhol chart is. Like that's the fix, but this ain't stress, it's deeper than this. Head spins like a carousel. Even heaven feels like hell. And the smallest thing sets me off. Like my brain's surprised I didn't have that pulled up. I hate that I hate myself for feeling this. Hate that I fake my way through bliss. Wish I could just be calm instead of praying this don't last too long.
tight chest, cold sweat, thoughts running like a jet. No reason, still I shake, feeling like I might break. I know I'm not dying, but it feels real. This ain't fake, it's just hard to heal. Got a storm that I can't protect, from the fear that I can't detect. Every taste of maybe,
There we go.
I don't need a war, just a second to rest.
Yeah, I'm watching this 103 right here. This 103K. That's previous trading range.
I'm not okay, 'cause my worst enemy lives in my brain.
Yeah, 102, 103K. I like what I'm seeing out of this. We just gotta break that 86K, man. That's our 322 EMA. Right there on the daily. Okay, that's why I think that's so critical. Obviously, 86K, Brotherhood of Death, murder, right? Order 322, Skull and Bones. So that 322 exponential moving average on the daily is going to be critical, 86K. But I still think that's where we're gravitating to. We haven't touched it since all the way back here on January 14th, January 15th, right? That 115 Lucifer Day. And when it was instant rejection into the 60K, 59K low. And now I think we're gravitating to test it again. So we don't spend too much time down here accumulating below it. Y'all know that. We're gonna get up here and we're gonna play with it and then probably break it. But once we get above it on the daily, it's blast off. And y'all know I've taught this for years. In any coin we've ever looked at, you won't ever see it blast off until it gets above the daily 322 EMA. Period. I mean, it's proven probably in 70 different charts over the last 3 years in these classes, twice a week. You know, daily 322 EMA closes above, enter the longs. You know, proven work. Only one in 13 years to ever talk about these two EMAs, 223, 322. So, you know, take pride in those. 2 hour, 5 minute, daily. Use them. So. They be trying to stir up the Christians and Muslims. I'm gonna have to wear a bulletproof vest at the Uber airport staging area. Yeah, man. Man, it's, you know, it's kind of funny. You be bringing that up. Like, we watched the whole world shut down in 2020, and then they started coming out talking about a new religion called Chrislam and merging Christianity with, well, Muslims. And again, you know, in these two religions, they kind of tell you to hate each other, to be honest. That's what they teach each other and have been for decades. You know, and look at what they do here with the war. You know, the news. Anyway, so it's funny you say that. You know, as we watch all this that we're witnessing right now on the world stage with this Iran and America war, because again, I've shared my thoughts on just this and what I think it is. You know, especially what I think Israel and Iran are doing involved in this conflict. But, you know, Iranians currently, man, they really don't care if they get blown up, bro. And I don't say this, you know, I might have people that listen to my work from Iran, you know, I don't know, man. But if you do your research when you're dealing with them, I don't think they care one bit, you know, to go to war. If you start studying Islamic eschatology, or however you say that, you know, the Mahdi is pretty unbelievable. See, the Mahdi to them is someone that emerges as a charismatic, messianic world leader during global chaos, and he will take control and destroy everyone that resists him. And he'll invade many nations, and he'll rule and reign, and he'll do this for 7 years under a peace treaty. Sounds familiar. And you know, he'll conquer Israel, and he'll massacre the Jews, and he'll establish Islam as the only acceptable world religion, you know. And they say he'll come on a white horse with supernatural powers, right? Again, this is their religion now. I've studied all kinds of religions in many years, and like, I'm sharing this with you. And they say he'll be, you know, followed by a powerful prophet, which is the Antichrist, their end times messianic body, right? So the prophet that they believe that will assist the Mahdi, that is Isa, is the Islamic view of Jesus, right? But that's this Donald Trump character that we keep hearing about, talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? And so to watch this, man, it's like I said before, it's pretty unique. So we may still see more nations attack Israel and unite to attack Israel, like it's talked about in the scripture. It may not just be Iran, right? Gog and Magog, that could be part of Russia and other places, or part of Tubal, which is Turkey. You know, all these places it talks about in the Bible. Gomer, like I said, Turkey, parts of Turkey. So every single one of these nations that I'm talking about, though, they're predominantly Islamic. You know what I'm saying? So I think this Muslim race that you're speaking about, this Islamic race, if you study, you know, Albert Pike's work, etc., German scientists from World War II, you know, it's always been the view to destroy America from within and to do it through religion. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the only way to do it. And so this Third World War, I see it being a big part of what we're witnessing is the war on religion. A big part of why, you know, I knew 2026 would be the year of God, and why we see Donald Trump wanting to have schools start teaching about, you know, God again and Christianity, because, well, America was built on Christianity, he says, and why he says, you know, May 17th, we're going to start celebrating God again as a nation, you know, the year of God, like I talked about. So this push for Christianity, while we see Muslim and Islamic eschatology on the rise, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, dude, this has been told to us for hundreds of years in many different cultures. You know what we're witnessing, and I can't say that enough. You know, like it's time for us to just become bread, man. Just be the bread of life. You know, that's been my message all year. So, but yeah, I see where this is going. Well, I mean, they told y'all a couple years ago 2 weeks to slow the spread, and that ended up being 2 years. So you don't get the 2 weeks is always going to keep, like, it's just like the debt ceiling. What do they do with it? Kick the can down the road? Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, when I saw 2 weeks, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Was like, ain't happening. You know, I mean, I've been lied to once. Like, it's easy to fool somebody, but it's hard to convince somebody that, hey, you've been fooled. You know, they weren't fooling me again. You know?
Say that it's love out they mouth, but that shit be fake. So I've been looking for peace, begging for space. And Lord, I'm just a nigga trying to win. Lord, I'm just a nigga, so I sin. We spin his block, then spin again. He gotta pay for what he did.
You silly. But yeah, man, you guys, I'm probably about to head out. You know, enjoy the rest of my night. Hang out with the boy. You know, walk the dogs. Get ready to enjoy another revolution around Helios and the sun tomorrow on Sunday. My birthday this year. You know, the 36 is code, and I'm 400 though. You know, I'm an infinite being, bro. I'm timeless, man. This body might be 36, but this soul's infinite, man. So, I love y'all, man. I appreciate every one of y'all that came out. Those that may be new and viewing us holding class for the first time tonight, just chilling. You know, hopefully you learned something. Got some value out of it. You saw the value we add here, that we bring here. That's unmatched anywhere. So, but with that being said, man, just pay attention to this weekend, the price rise. Look for that 83, 86K coming in soon. Potentially as high as 103, 96K. So, levels we've been talking about since October, you know, but it was a journey, you know. First we were hunting 60K, and then, you know, bouncing back into this range, and, well, we've hit 60K. We started to bounce back into this range, and there's just like an onion, I said, man, there's levels to this, man, and there's levels we gotta break. So we've talked about them, we've documented them. Love you too, Oz, man. But yeah, man, we'll see where we're at come Tuesday night when we host class again. You know, where does the Bitcoin conference Monday take us? You know, buy the rumor, sell the news event, or what? So, very important. 117th day of the year coming up, man. That Bitcoin code, Master Chief code, and the Bitcoin conference starting on this same day. So, let's see where Sin City, Las Vegas Bitcoin conference takes us. The last 3 years, it has marked a microstructure high before a lower price action came in. So remember that as we see these, you know, erotic prices. Is this the greatest bull trap ever? Into the buy the rumor, sell the news event of the crypto conference that brings us back down before we then continue higher. You know, do we see 60K again, 62K? Do we see lower out of this event if it's a buy the rumor, sell the news event? Only time will tell. But, you know, I'm holding strong and confirming that, you know, we're still setting lows here and bottoming and rising out of that. Cherry blossom season, bringing us to life, death, rebirth, resurrection again in the price action, and, well, just marking history for us here at the Daily Kennel Close News and our market dissertation and thesis. So, like I said, man, as I get ready to celebrate a birthday tomorrow on the last day that Satoshi ever spoke to the crypto space, with the historic first ever documented success rate in this space, man. You know, the first inductee into the Crypto Hall of Fame, man. I'm just going to celebrate myself, man. Celebrate the work that we do, and I'm going to celebrate you, because it's why I do what I do. So, be looking out for me to come drop y'all a little something tomorrow. You know, whether it's another hangout class setting with y'all, or if I upload something or do a live stream. Just know we're going to bring the heat tomorrow, if that's the case. I'm going to be feeling myself. Right, so we'll see what the price action brings us. Hopefully it brings us some volatility so that, you know, it makes it special. But with that being said, I'm going to end this tonight, man, and send you all love, man. Send you all love. Let's see what Donald Trump says in this update that he's about to bring to us as we get off here, and, you know, let's see what it does to the global world stage after this event we saw tonight as we watched Uranus transition back into Gemini, affecting this Gemini-born president right here. Like I said, man, it's we just entered a new timeline in February, and here we are watching it ramp up and speed up with this astrological shift that we've been documenting for almost a year as it became popular. So, much love. Y'all take care. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Biggest and happy birthday to you, my man. Thank you, dude. Where's my crypto? Appreciate your time, coach. Sorry I've been away. All good, my guy. Take care of your family. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. I just, you know, dealt with that today. Laying my sister-in-law to rest. You know, I didn't mention it or nothing, but yeah, she died in a motorcycle accident last Saturday. So, you know, I feel your pain there, my friend. You know, y'all know I've been going through it. A lot of people don't want to hear Coach made history all the time, or, you know, I don't want to hear Coach's pain, and it's like, well, I'm just here to document my story, you know what I'm saying? How can I speak about any future success if I don't speak about any of this, you know? So, anyways, press conference soon, real soon. But, yeah, let's keep doing that trading tips. Keep helping these folks out, man. He says that's gold to him, man. More motivated now to lock in and actually learn. Hey, man, we're here for you, brother. That's what we do, you know. Again, like, I don't get mad if you at me in the Discord. I just may not always be able to reply to y'all's comments, man. Y'all know that. I try. It's not that I'm ignoring nobody. But, like, I just wish I could document how my brain works, you guys. I'm sorry. But, you know, we're here for each other, man. We're here to help you learn. Like I said earlier, man, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm no different than you. I'm no better than you, man. Yes, I've made history. Yes, I've been one of the, if not the most accurate price analyst and charter in this cryptocurrency space for the last 6 years. Cool. No different than you, though, my friend. If I can do it, you can do it. And my work proves that, man. I studied. I've taken many losses along the way. And I, for some reason, for the last 6 years, been able to flawlessly pinpoint each high, each low. Because my whole life, for the last 15 years of learning this, they said you couldn't do it. Nobody calls the highs. Nobody calls the lows. 95% of traders lose everything. Right? That's all I heard. That's all I heard. You can't do it. So use that as motivation, man. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm still ignored and belittled and misunderstood and undervalued. You know what I'm saying? Overlooked. It's cool, bro. But you're here for a reason. Because you see the value. Because you've seen me share my work. You know what I'm saying? And you made it here. And now it's just, now you've got to do the work. Ask Roy Moore. Ask Patoy. Ask Oz. Any of these people that started my journey with me, they didn't know nothing. They were just learning. Now look at them. Trading, charting, decoding, handling DeFi. You know what I'm saying? Like, props, man. Props, man. You're just getting started. And what a better day to start as we end a 8-year transition and an 84-year cycle and start a new 8-year cycle and a new multi-decade generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're about to bloom, son. Like, just remember that. So, I love you, my friend. All of you. And with that being said, Enrique Flores was here. They're not here no more. I guess they left. But I have never seen Discord say that. But yeah, I'm signing out, you guys. I love y'all. Take care. And we'll see y'all in Tuesday night's class.